Network flow analysis. This presentation was done at DEF CON 16 by Bruce Potter. Little introduction on Bruce Potter. He's the founder of the Ponte Technologies. Him and his company focus on advanced defense technologies. Founder of the Shmoo Group, co-author of several books and other stuff. Some of the books: 802.11 Security, Mastering FreeBSD and OpenBSD Security, Mac OS X, let's say that again, Mac OS 10 Security. Over the last several years, we've seen a decrease in effective of classical security tools. The nature of the present day attacks is very different from what the security community has been used to in the past. Rather than widespread worms and viruses that cause general havoc, attackers are directly targeting their victims in order to achieve monetary or military gain. These attacks are blowing right past firewalls and antivirus and placing malware deep in the enterprise. Ideally, we could fix this problem at its roots, fixing the software that is making us vulnerable. Unfortunately, that's going to take a while, and the interim security engineers and operators need new, advanced tools that allow deeper visibility into systems and network while being easy and efficient to use. This talk will focus on using network flows to detect advanced malware. Network flows, made popular by Cisco, Netflow. Implementation available is almost on all their routers. It has been used for years for network engineering purposes. And while there has been some capability for security analysis against these flows, there has been little interest until recently. This talk will describe Netflow and how to implement it in your network. It will also examine advanced statistical analysis techniques that make finding malware and attackers easier. Bruce Potter has released a new version of Psyche, but at this time other new tools have popped up recently, and as we get further down in the presentation, there is a different tool that I will be used to show its effectiveness, or talk about its effectiveness. Actually, it's an open source flow analysis tool, and it shows specific examples of how to detect malware on live networks. It will also release a tool designed to craft and spoof Netflow records for injection into Netflow collectors. So what is network analysis? It's quite simple. Looking at evidence on or from the network in order to determine information regarding any of the following: security, availability, performance, capability, and integrity. So what does that mean for executing? Well, analysis is collecting and storing data, sanitizing, smoothing out the data, viewing the results. There's a gobs of ways to view the network. One, SNMP, data from routers and switches, carry logs, carry all sorts of information for you to filter through, run through, read. Raw packet captures, existing network infrastructures, IDS, your firewalls, your VPN gateways, and network flows. The advantages and disadvantages: lots of products out there. By the way, analysis does take a long time with these products. Or would you rather be doing firewall configs or reading IP tables? It's up to you. What might be hiding from you? You know, as much fun as it appears to be digging through all that data, there is a bigger purpose for looking through it. You know, bots, malware, kind of what we're going through in class. Data exfiltration, policy violation, and other classes we've gone through. Performance utilization. What is flow? Well, data regarding an unidirectional flow of information through a network. The technical jargon of it, but just not to complicate it. Reasons to care about network flows. Awesome visual in the network. Not a lot of processing power needed on the collection analysis host. More detailed than SNMP. Also less complicated than full packet dumps. Cheap for routers to export. The network is already in line and it sees all your data. So there you go. Netflow takes a little bandwidth. And advanced statistical analysis can uncover policy violations, botnets, malware, and extras. Just look hard. Botnets, botnets, botnets. Run through the standard ports, most of these botnets and malware. TCP, UDP, 53 port, 66, 66, 67, Internet Relay Chat. Finding the hardest of bots on port 80, but it's not impossible. Finding numerous connections using less bandwidth than average. Look for outside data going places unfamiliar, destination addresses. Data exfiltration. Heavy outbound versus inbound data. A 2-to-1 ratio and good to filter the noise out. In most environments that is funny. VPN and mail hosts need to be ruled out. Policy violations. Well, tracking bad patterns. Searching the P2P, VoIP traffic. Looking for source ports talking to destination ports. Knowing your policy and how is it interpreted in your traffic. Chatterboxes. Just talking over the wire. Usually, here's the one. A gigabyte of data stolen a day. And every day is cause for either a look, concern, something just to keep your eye on, actually. And there's sensors. Is there sensors? Well, if it's just on the WAN links, don't forget to check the internal violations either. Performance and utilization. Connections through the router and low speed links need to be monitored. Key piece is to understand data on the links and be aware of different types over time. The top chatter, who's doing it and why? High-low packet count and size can indicate some delays. Latency is what they call it. Users are key to learning about their expenses. Here's one of the tools that I've come across, other than the tool Bruce Potter recommended, which is no longer being, I guess, able to download for free, but I found one similar to that. It's a Netflow analyzer, and here it's by Manage Engine and the Professional Plus, but you know, it's a trial, expires in 29 days. But here is a list of or tabs, actually, this kind of GUI interface that lets you basically check on devices. And it gives you this dashboard view, which is awesome. Alert profiles, scheduling applications, user management, license management. Look, it also has, you know, billing reports for admin, databasing, security analytics. Here's another view of the network snapshot, which I really dig because it does give you graphs. It gives some some graphs here and some bar graphs, and also actually discusses several things throughout your, your process, your network flowing is, it gives you devices names. It tells you top applications that are being used, top devices by speedline graph, and you know what's really awesome about this? It's a refresh. It refreshes itself every, or I guess you could change that, but it refreshes itself every minute, which is awesome. And it gives you an hourly report. And the dashboard name, Network Snapshot, there's also different variations how you want that done for viewing. Here is just the bottom half of that page, grouped in or pasted in with the idea of what's left of that particular viewing tab. Interfaces by utilization, groups by speed, device names again by volume, what's gigabytes that are pushing and traffic of total sort. And I find the alerts down the bottom. It's just a quick little view of what might have popped up for a rule that doesn't belong to your network, or something that just throws up a flag saying, hey, you might need to check this out. Final thoughts. Well, looking through all those tools, looking through that tool that I downloaded, and it seemed very, very interesting, only to know that, not having the proper network to go through that. But as far as what we're learning and what we're getting ready to do out in the real world, setting up a network flow of some kind to view all the ISO processes going through and all your traffic pushing through, and this gives you an idea of what you're expected to understand in time. And having these so-called classical tools is not something you should hang up, something you should just get rid of and only look for what's out there for the top. Some of these older tools like Netflow is very, very worth having in your system, in your network. So once again, look into finding such a tool that will kind of give you upper edge on anyone, actually, or anything looking and using bandwidth or using any other connection or passing data outside the line, or however. There are more tools, more views, more data to look at. You can visit the URL here, and there's also for a 30-day trial, which is that site. You can co-visit it. It's www.manageengine.com, network performance management, HTML. Well, all of these tools are relevant to your network. Using Netflow tools will get you into believing and better prepared for various troubled situations. That's my presentation, and thank you.